I'm going to get into just starting out as a writer because I'm obviously a new writer. So you take this with a grain of salt. This is just my experience and kind of what I've researched. I do a lot of, I watch a lot of writing blogs, like YouTube channel blogs, just to kind of learn. So first thing I'm going to go, and this is going to be like a lecture, Luca. So feel free to nag me about
Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta get my notes. I gotta get my notes. You know.
So first thing is self-publishing versus traditional publishing. Traditional publishing is when you go to a publisher like Penguin Random House, and you'll submit your manuscript or your book. And
I'm sorry, like what?
Penguin Random House. You ever heard of them?
No.
So they do like old school stuff. Like they'll reprint like Of Mice and Men, all those old school books they made you read in like high school and whatnot.
Like the things that nobody really owns anymore, so they can.
I guess maybe it's public domain still. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure that somebody owns the estate, you know. But the pro of traditional publishing is that someone else is probably covering like a lot of the costs, like the marketing, distribution, that kind of stuff. Whereas you can just be the talent, so to speak. You're just the writer, but then they're obviously going to take a lot of the royalties too. But then the bad thing, which every writer will figure out, is you get rejected like crazy. So it's like I've submitted short stories, like flash fiction stories, to online magazines. I've always been rejected, just rejection after rejection. Yeah.
So I mean, that's I guess
Part of the process.
Good part about being a man is that you're used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just used to people telling you you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but maybe. I don't know.
So that's something you got to get used to is traditional. I don't really like traditional. I would like to publish something in the traditional route just to say I did it, to show that, because self-publishing, you can be a hack, you can be really good, whatever. I'm kind of a hack, I think. So self-publishing though is just like it sounds. You're publishing your own content, and usually you have to find some kind of platform. So like obviously use Amazon, KDP, or Kindle Vella, but there's other ones like Lulu, Ingram Sparks, BookBaby. Oh. Like Ida uses BookBaby or Book Music. Is it? CD Baby. Or CD Baby. Yeah, I think it's like that's the same as BookBaby, right? Kind of like an offshoot or whatever. Yeah. So those are different platforms where you can self-publish. So the pro of self-publishing is you obviously you have control of everything. You can release however you want. Traditional publishing, sometimes they'll tell you to like change things. They'll be like, I don't like this content, doesn't fit our image or whatever. So you might want to change this. But self-publishing, you can release whatever the hell you want. But you're covering the cost, the marketing. Probably not distribution, because like I'm publishing digital stuff, ebooks. So then, as soon as you buy it, they just get it. You're not really shipping anything out to them. So that's kind of the self-publishing and traditional publishing route. Am I lecturing too much, or are you okay?
Oh, sorry, I zoned out. What was that? No. I'm keeping up a little bit.
All right. There's also ghostwriting, which is when someone pays you to like. So if like someone could say I don't want it. Like if you don't want to write a book, so you're like, but I have an idea, and then you'd pay me to write it, but then you put your name on it.
Yeah.
But,
well, I guess I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I know it happens in like Hollywood as well, where somebody might participate in a movie or like create music for somebody, but they don't want any credit. They just want to get paid and move on. So I've heard of that. There's actually a big debate about, I believe it's the game Sonic 3, like the old school game.
Yeah.
There's a myth out there that Michael Jackson wrote the music for it. And of course, it's like 8-bit music or whatever, 16-bit music.
Oh, but he was a ghostwriter or whatever?
Yeah. Like he did it, but he didn't want any credit. So that's still a big debate.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's the Sega. That's Sonic 3. Was that on Sega?
I have no idea.
Or what was the
Well,
other?
I mean, it's something Sega related. Yeah, Sonic 3. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Something from.
It was all kind of 80s, 90s kind of stuff. So maybe it was him.
Yeah. No, I mean he was a big deal back then. So he still is, I'm sure.
Yeah. So. That's interesting. So the next thing is from writing to publishing, or the publishing process. So you got to write the book. That's the first thing. I know the first book I wrote was like this post-apocalyptic book. I never actually finished it, I don't think, but I ended up writing like
Which book is that? Is that the one of animals?
No, that's Atwater Woods, and I'm going to release that hopefully at some point in the future.
Oh, okay.
But so there was one I wrote before that called The Other Side of Humanity, and it was like a post-apocalyptic thing. And it was like 400 pages, and I'm still not done with it. So one thing that I've learned is they say it's like more of like a recommendation. I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want, but they said like don't start writing a book. Maybe start writing like a short, like a novella, which is like a short novel, or like short stories, because it's just so massive in length that like it's hard to it's hard to keep track of like all the characters, the plot points, you know. So it's probably better to start small. So that's the recommendations I've been getting. But you can do whatever the hell you want, you know. So
Or you can also like go into the woods, get a cabin, and just sit there for like years until you finish the book.
oh yeah.
I have a feeling as long as Hazel's there,
I'll be
you'd
good.
be
Yeah.
happy. I would have to stop by sometimes.
Yeah,
but-
Hazel's my dog. Yeah, so my favorite. I would if you and Hazel were hanging off a cliff, and she
Oh.
had like 2 weeks to live, I would save her over you.
You don't have to go any further. I already know. I have accepted this about you a long time ago.
Yeah. So the first thing is to write the book, which is probably it's not the hardest part. I've actually found out that marketing is the hardest part, but writing the book is the second hardest part. So, first thing is to write the book. The second thing you want to do is hire a professional editor. So I tend to I find freelancers like I've used Upwork.com. I think that's all I've used. Is there? I'm not sure. Have you used what are some other freelance platforms? You used a couple, right?
Upwork.
You use Upwork? Okay, so I've used 2 professional editors, and they've both been from Upwork, and it's nice because you get like there's like a contract kind of thing, so you know that you're gonna get paid, or they know they're gonna get paid. You know you're gonna get your stuff back.
Right, because nobody ever goes against the contract.
Well, I've been it's good so far, you know, knock on wood. So but that's what I do. I get a freelancer, but some people if you're like if you know grammar and you know all that stuff, you can probably just do it yourself. But it's probably a better idea to get a professional editor.
It's always best to have a second point of view, yeah.
Yeah. That also kind of leads like one thing I did with Siege is I had beta readers, so people to read it, and before you're like, well, after you've written the first draft, but before you've got like your polished draft, is you have people read it. Like I had you and I to read Siege, portions of Siege, to kind of see what the hell's wrong with it. So like the big thing I got from Siege actually was I had too many damn characters. That's the one critique I've gotten.
Well, you introduced them, I think, too quickly.
Maybe that's it. But then the pro I got was that the characters were likable and there was a good amount of violence. That's what I got. So I don't know if you like the violent part, but that's what I got from other beta readers, other people that I know. So after that, so after you get an editor, you want to hire a professional artist for the book cover. That's probably the most it's probably one of the better marketing tools because people do judge books by their covers. So if it looks like shit, they're probably not going to want to read it.
Oh, I am 100% behind that. My favorite thing to do is to go to a wine store and look at the prettiest labels.
Oh, really?
And that's how I pick what's a good bottle of wine.
But what if you know what if it's, let's say you don't like Merlot, but Merlot has the best.
I'm going to start drinking Merlot.
So you're just a sucker for marketing.
And pretty things.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, good enough. So,
Yeah.
Again, I've hired a professional artist off of Upwork, and I've done it off of 99 Designs, which is another like freelance site.
So real quick to speak about how much of a sucker I am, I really like Aviation Gin.
What the hell is Aviation Gin?
It's a gin that Ryan Reynolds markets.
Oh, I would get it just for Ryan Reynolds, man. Does Ryan Gosling have does he have a wine thing out? Maybe I'll take up drinking if he's
if he said so.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe so. So again, book cover, super important. The next one's probably a more of an optional thing, but get an ISBN number. Do you know what an ISBN number is?
Yeah, it's how you find books. There's like a 10 ISBN and a 13 ISBN.
Yeah, I think so.
And there's a 24 ISBN.
I think something like
They
that.
just want to make ISBNs up.
But it's basically like it's a
Serial number.
So it's a serial number that says that you're basically the owner. Like I registered Siege and I believe Corporal with an ISBN, so that if anybody tries to steal it, I have it on a record. I think it's called Bowker. Bowker is
So you believe you registered Corporal?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Quick.
Or you guys can maybe steal it. So it's Bowker is the organization, at least the one around here anyway that I know of, is that manages the ISBN. So if somebody was to try to steal it, but I have an ISBN, you'll list like the cover, the book cover, like the description, and a bunch of other factors that kind of proves that it's yours, so to speak. And Amazon has one called an ASIN, which is the same as an ISBN, it's just a different acronym.
It's the Amazon standard
Yeah.
identification number.
Yeah. So, and then the last thing is to publish the book, and that's when you would pick a traditional route, self-publishing route. You pick out the platform. So,
Just send emails to people with your book in it, and just be like, "Hey, read this."
yeah,
It might work. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I mean, I get a lot of shit in the mail.
I just start
I
sending
think it's,
excerpts to people.
yeah.
And just like, give me a review, please.
And then
So-
and then now it's the text spam. You know.
Text spam.
Yeah. You,
Oh,
you
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
text people like the first chapter. Be like, "Want to read more? Click here."
Fuck off, man. Stop sending me this stuff. So again, the process is write the book, hire a professional editor, hire a professional artist. My opinion, get an ISBN, and then publish the book. Any questions on that, Luca?
No. I'm not much for writing
Or reading or learning?
No, I do enjoy reading. I just never make the time to read.
You like reading the stuff on the video games that you play? That's about it, right?
No, actually, that's worse.
Well,
I like reading billboards, coupons, and text messages.
Oh.
Text messages are my favorite. But no, I've enjoyed. Like right now, I have Ready Player One over by bedside.
Oh, you can read.
I just never, again, like I said, I never make the time. I try to make the time to watch The Boys, and I'm just too busy.
Like I actually like to read before I go to sleep because that helps me. I mean, like I get into it and then it makes me tired. I don't know what the deal is. Like I'll get super interested in that, and it just relaxes me. So
It's pretty much the same as sex.
I guess, yeah.
You get into it, and then you're tired.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So yeah, reading's like sex for us. So the next thing is marketing, and marketing is such a huge pain in the ass. It's kind of fun, but it's also a pain in the ass. When I first was publishing a book, Ada and I were talking about marketing, and I told her the hardest part was probably writing a book. She's like, "No, marketing is way harder." I'm like, "This is whatever, I know everything. It's not
Yeah.
writing."
Being the
But-
man that you are, of course you would know better.
Yeah. So Ida was right. Marketing is a huge thing. Ida, can you scroll down a little bit on the notes? So marketing is huge. One thing is you want to get reviews. Can you scroll? There you go. You want to get reviews for your book, and reviews are super hard. A lot of people, what they do is they'll get family or friends or whatever to do it. So if there's somebody's, if they got like one review, it's probably family, or a friend. But so that's what you reach out to family and friends to read it, and then.
Do you have my reviews?
Did you review my book? Did you
I
review
don't
Siege?
know. Sometimes I forget how good of a friend I am.
Did you review Siege? I don't think
I don't
so.
know.
I only got fucking like 2 or 3 reviews, so.
Oh, so probably not.
So, but you want to get reviews. So, like, what I did is I would reach out to review. There's review bloggers online, and I think I've messaged maybe like a dozen of them. But you have to pretty much message like 100 before you get anybody, because I've got no one to review it yet. You'll basically send
Oh,
them
I see what you're saying.
you'll send them your manuscript, and you say, "Give me an honest review."
I think the reason I didn't review it is because I read it before you published it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll get back to it.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
After you've done reading Ready Player One in like 3 years.
Yeah. No, I think I'll be on to Ready Player 2 by then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's
Goals.
a sequel. Yeah, that's right.
You
There-
know?
But like, so I reach out to online bloggers, and you give an honest review. But it's just hard to get them to do it because they all will have like certain genres they like. If you got vampire werewolves, I think anybody will read it. So
It's true. I would read it. I would for sure read that.
I would not.
If it turned out, can I say what Siege is partially about?
Yeah.
So if it turns out those robots were really vampires,
And you'd be good.
I'd be in it. I'd be the one.
Yeah. But so that's one route to get them, but you just got to get reviews, and then there's scam ways too, which is kind of bullshit. I mean, I think if you do anything, you should have some kind of ethics, But you could,
If as long as you win at the end, doesn't matter how you got there.
I don't know. I think you should be a dirtbag, but that's my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
But you could pay people. You say like you pay them like $100 and they'll give you like 50 reviews or whatever. But you'll notice, or at least this is my theory anyway. They'll say like, "What a great book," and that's it. 5 stars, and you'll have like 50 of those reviews. So those are all probably fake reviews because it's just there's no thought put into it. There's nothing about the book.
Yeah, but at least they're not saying this shampoo is amazing.
Like it's completely off. Yeah. yeah. So. So there's that, but you got to get reviews is one thing. And then one other important thing is to have an author website. And this probably isn't like, you're probably not going to drive like a lot of traffic to your website, but it's basically the point of that is to have a hub for all your information. So if somebody says, "Oh, I've heard of Luca Lanzoni's book," like he's not on Wikipedia. So let me just look his name up, and you have a website, and they can find out who you are, what you write, when it's coming out, and all that kind of stuff. So author website's kind of like a hub for everything. And the thing that everybody does because it's free is you put yourself on multiple social media platforms. Or some people have said you should just be on one and be really good at it. I'm on a number of them because I'm not good at any of them. So I'm just everywhere.
We can't all be good at everything, you know.
Yeah. And then one big thing about marketing is post consistently. So whether you're posting once a day, once a week, you want to make sure you're posting something that way people always know that you're always kind of bugging them. You're kind of just like spamming them almost, you know. But that way they because it's
like social media.
It's what it is, you know. It is. But you never know what's going to click with somebody. So then you just want to always have something out there so that they might like, you know. So like since I released a book trailer for Siege, I got a couple new views. I don't know if it's from that, but I'm assuming it's from that. So you never know what's going to work or what's not going to work. Because some people may like the book trailer. Some people may like I would do like cover design. I hired like 4 different cover designers, and I'd run like a what's it called? Like a contest. And I'd say, you know, to my viewers, which ones do you like the best? And I'll probably go with that one. So like for Siege, the one that I have up won, you know, that's the one that won on my social media. So people like the interaction with that. And then maybe they don't, you know. So
when you say people like that interaction, is it people you know or strangers?
My followers. So my followers.
But are those all people you know?
Both.
Or they...
Both.
Okay.
I mean, it was both. So like I had like one other author was like mentioned something. I had my friends you know, would mention stuff, and random people that were followers I don't know personally, but they, you know, they would chime in. So it's kind of cool. You know, it's just it's a good way to kind of interact with you know, your followers, the network, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then there's also paid promotions. So like social media has paid promotions. I've done that a couple times with Twitter and Instagram for Siege. Amazon has promotions. Kindle Vella doesn't have promotions that I'm aware of right now, but Amazon, the main platform, does. So you can like you can give your book away for free for a day. You can give it away for like half price. They have a platform called Kindle Unlimited, which is kind of like a Netflix. You know, I don't know if you heard that, but so there's different.
Yeah, I did that once for school.
Amazon Unlimited.
Yeah, the Kindle Unlimited, whatever.
Oh.
And
Kindle Unlimited.
and then I think I left the country because I finished school and I left the country for summer, and I came back and I'm still being charged.
Oh, right.
And I don't know if I forgot to cancel it, but luckily the customer service canceled it, refunded me everything because they did see I wasn't like using it.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Amazon actually is pretty good with customers. I mean, like obviously if you're really getting something shipped to you or you're buying a book, you know, it's like they're pretty good about.
Yeah, like if something disappears from your porch or something, like
Porch
overall,
pirate.
like they have a lot of faith in people, I guess.
Yeah, but they're such a juggernaut. I'm sure they don't like lose that much money, you know, comparatively.
Well, anything lost is lost. I'm sure it adds up to millions because they're so big, you know.
You know, I had a coworker who used to work at Home Depot, and he said they would lose like for I think it was a week or a month, they lose like $45,000 of stuff from theft.
Yeah.
And that was like a good month, you know. So like a bad month would be like 70 grand, you know.
If you notice, Home Depot always has security at the entrance points.
Do they?
Like checking receipts, you know.
Oh, maybe I go to Lowe's more, so maybe I don't.
I like Lowe's better. I don't know why, but it's better.
They look the same.
In my professional opinion, and I have no experience working on anything.
Like I got nothing. So,
but no, I bought that plant from Lowe's.
The one that I won't let you put up here. Or
the tree, the money tree.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah.
That's cool. I'm sure I bought other things, but yeah.
Well, that's good. So then, and then another thing is recommended is get a podcast or YouTube channel. So here we are.
You've been using me this whole time.
Hell yeah, I've been using you. Yeah.
For this fucking episode.
Yes, for this episode. This is my first writing-related episode on a podcast or a YouTube channel or Twitch, whatever the hell this is.
He uses and manipulates me, then he just sneaks this onto me. It's ridiculous.
So this is my first podcast. So this is a way, obviously, to promote your stuff. And then the last thing. Not the last thing. There's actually quite a few things you could do for marketing, but again, I'm relatively new to this. The last thing is to make book trailers. So I've made book trailers. There's a site called Canva, and you can do it for free. This is a pretty popular thing with Kindle Vella authors. I've noticed. Like I actually asked an author on Instagram, like, hey, how'd you make this trailer? And she told me about Canva, so you can make it for free. So and then I also made another trailer using Adobe Premiere. So we're gonna play my two book trailers. You can tell me which one you think. One of them was completely free, it cost me nothing, and one cost me money. So you can tell me which one you think was what.
Okay.
But Ida, can you play the Corporal book trailer? All right. So Luca, what do you think that's about?
A dashing, good-looking guy and a dashing, good-looking girl. Alcohol.
You're just describing what we
Military
saw, but like what
and
do you think it's
donuts.
what do you think it's about? Well, they had to have the donuts in there. You know, it's on donut therapy, right? So
It's Corporal. The book had a military hat on it, so I would assume it's about an ex-soldier coming back from the war, maybe 1920s era. He eats donuts because he's you.
No, that was not. I don't make very good previews because you don't know what the hell it's about. No, so Corporal is a short story. It's actually, it's fictional, but it's kind of based off somebody I know who was a Marine. So it's about a Marine named Corporal Joy, who has a lot of addiction problems. So he's addicted to drinking, smoking, chewing, and then he mentions he eats donuts once in the story. And then he's realizing that his vices are starting. He's wondering if he's going to have any kind of future because of all his vices, and it culminates in a decision he has to make when he meets a woman named Delight, who's like this flashy kind of promiscuous chick who used to date his buddy. So that's kind of the 30-second pitch of that one. So
Gotcha, and he's hoping to get a go at her, pretty much.
maybe not. You got to read it. So that one, here's my sales pitch. That one is on Amazon KDP right now. So you can go to the regular Amazon site. It's Corporal by me, Robert DeSimone Jr., and it's for sale for $1, for 99 cents.
So the whole story is at 99 cents?
Yeah, because it's a short story. It's like 15 pages, I think, something like that. So it's pretty short. So then, any questions on that one?
No. None.
All right.
He eats donuts once, and it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out.
Yeah. So it was fitting. It was fitting, for this show.
It was fitting for the show. It was actually a nice clip. Like, we should add it to our intro.
I should find out where those donuts are from, and we should do a review on those.
Did you actually eat those donuts?
No, I don't know. I just got it off a clip offline.
Oh, stealing.
No, this was free. That one was free. I'm not gonna tell you if this video was free. I'm gonna tell you that image was free.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
let's go on. Are we going on?
Yeah,
to the
we do.
trailer?
So can you throw the Siege trailer on, please? All right. So
that's definitely yours.
That's definitely what?
That one's definitely the one that you made.
What do you mean the one that I made?
You said one was free because you made it.
No, I made them both.
Okay.
No, but one cost me money and one was free. So which one do you think cost me money?
I think Siege was free.
And then Corporal cost me money?
That's what I think.
Why?
No, hold on. No, Corporal was free. Siege cost you money.
Why?
Because Corporal was published a long time ago.
Cool. Well, I published it earlier this year. No, I published it in December. Yeah.
Well,
so
clearly I know nothing then.
All right, so Corporal was free and then Siege was not?
I think Siege was free.
Okay, and why?
Because it had like your signature on it, where things didn't quite move properly. So I'm gonna base it entirely on that.
Oh no, so Siege cost me money,
Okay.
and then Corporal was completely free. So Corporal I made completely with Canva, and it was completely free. And I think it was Pexels is the site where I got the images, the free images. There's some royalty free images which actually aren't free; they're just royalty free. And there's Pexels, from my understanding, is just completely free, as far as I know. And then Siege, some of the images were free, but the one with the spaceship and the one with the robots, I had to pay for those images. So that cost me money. So what do you think Siege is about? Or you kind of already know what Siege is about.
Yeah, I know what Siege is about. Do you want me to tell you?
Sure. What do you
Siege
think?
is
What do you
about?
think it's about? Yeah.
So it's about this guy who likes donuts, and he's in the military, and he has his friends and his brother, and they go off to become cooks, bakers.
No.
No?
No.
Did I not read the right story?
You started out good, but
No. So it's a survival story in which humans are fighting aliens/robots.
kind of.
And it's a survival base because again they're all kind of trapped in this complex, we'll just say. One of them does like donuts though, I do recall that. And he also likes a woman. So that's definitely the you character,
Is that me?
I would
Oh.
say.
I based the character off you. I
But
totally
then
get it. Right?
it's discovered that one of the humans that they're trapped with is not what they seem. I'll
Yes.
just say
So-
clickbait, you know.
So I'll give you the 30-second pitch. So it's a science fiction mystery novella, so a short novel.
Hold on. With this 30-second pitch, I feel like you've actually composed the pitch, you've memorized it, and you're about to like spill it.
Yeah, it's kind of yes and no.
Okay, let's
So-
hear it. Sorry, let's go from the back, from the
alright.
beginning.
So Siege is a science fiction mystery story that takes place on Earth in the year 2096, so the future. So and Earth has been invaded by these reptile-like aliens called architects, and then they've mastered robotics, so they have an army of androids or robots. So the story follows a group of 20 government workers. Some of them are military, but the main guy is a guy named Rain, and then he's got his brother there too. And then they get surrounded by a small architect army of robots. And then they get surrounded. It's a siege. So there's 20 guys versus about 100 or so of the architect army, and the humans don't know why the architects are trying to get into this. They're part of a military compound, like a base, but they don't know why they're trying to get in there. And then at the same time, they find out that one of the humans is actually a serial killer, going around killing their own people. So that's it.
Okay. I feel like you shouldn't say that he's a serial killer. I feel
Well,
like that's spoiler
he's a
alert.
serial killer. So a lot of people are going to die. A lot of people die in the story.
Yeah, I think violence and death is like your signature.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, and then punching people,
Yeah. I was entertaining.
which
Yeah.
we'll find out.
I
more
like
in
punching
our
you.
next
The martial arts
episode.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, when will that next episode be?
Next week.
Are we still doing it next week?
Yeah.
I thought something came up.
So we'll have to pre-record. So next
Okay.
week won't be live. But we're gonna pre-record our martial arts episode next week. So yes, on this though, Ida, can you throw the notes up? I don't know if we have anything else. Oh no, there was. So again, this is just my experience with as a start out writer. Yours may be different. I'm just trying to give you like a breakdown of the general things that I've learned and that I've done with this. So I know I mentioned I've roughly made about $500 in 6 months, but I've spent probably about $1,500. So not quite. I'm glad I've made $500 or so. It's kind of cool that I've been able to make money as a writer, but it is kind of a up and down process, but I think it's totally worth it. So I did want to give a shout out to the authors that we know, because I know Adam, your buddy Adam McLean.
Yeah.
He has a book out. It's called DSO Files: The Search for Cerberus. I think that's on Amazon. Do you know
it's about?
Do you know what it's about? Because I know what it's about.
Well, I know that it involves certain topic points that we were referring to earlier.
Were we? Oh,
Teenagers.
oh yeah. There's a werewolf.
werewolves.
Yeah. So
but it is. I don't know it. I actually own the book. I haven't gotten around to reading it.
I know it. I'll help Adam out. I'll give him what it's about.
Give him a shout out.
So the DSO Files is about it's a werewolf, a zombie, and a warlock who have to go find the hellhound Cerberus and get a tissue sample. and I believe that may be to cure the werewolf, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken though. But anyways, it's on Amazon. You guys can get that one. Also, my brother Jack DeSimone, he writes poetry. I have some of his stuff on my website, robertdesimone.com. So he has one poem I like. It's called Number 18, Locked. I believe it's about someone who's locked up in jail. I'll put the links for my trailers and my website and all that, so you guys can look at that.
And those books we refer to for Jack and Adam.
Yeah. So we'll put the links in for that stuff. So that's all I got on writing. Do you have anything else, Luca?
No.
All right. So let's get into Krispy Kreme.
Very informative. Very informative.
You look pretty excited and interested to talk about it.
Oh, super interested. As you can tell, I'm a natural. Actually, you know what? When I remember you told me about this episode, and I think just in between all the chaos of the whole COVID and flooding and everything, I forgot, but I did mean to reach out to my friend Adam to see if he wanted to
like pre-record something.
On this podcast, be a guest star.
Oh yeah, that would have been good.
It would have been good actually. I honestly totally forgot that this is happening this week.
What a dirtbag, Luca. What a dirtbag. No. Oh well, at least I was looking out for Adam.
yeah, at least one of us.
Yeah.
Well, he's now out of state, so we would have probably like had him join in remotely.
Yeah,
somehow.
Zoom, something like that.
Yeah.
Or you could even pre-record. I don't know, but.
Oh, yeah, we'll pre-record. We'll ask him the questions, and then we'll ask him we'll ask the question, and then we'll click play. And be like, that's very informative.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
So, all right. What did you do? You have a review yet for Krispy Kreme?
Yeah. So actually, I was a bit disappointed.
Oh, why?
Because I haven't had Krispy Kremes in I was gonna say years, but I remember they brought it into work the other day. So it's been a while. And I just remember it being a lot more like soft and fresh, and mine was not. And I don't know how yours are, but the dough wasn't.
Mine there's so much sugar in there that I can't help but like it. Like it's like crack, It's like crack cocaine, just boom, So I mean, I love sugar. I'm probably gonna get diabetes when I'm older. I'll probably lose a leg, all that good stuff,
Goals.
But I love sugar. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out what my score would be. But
so I can tell you I liked what donut did I have?
Strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, so I thought like the way they put that together was interesting. The whipped cream on top was garbage in my opinion.
Was it?
Yeah, it was too. It's like the difference between buying chocolate chip cookies at a store and then buying them fresh.
Mm-hmm,
it's like it's
definitely processed. Yeah.
Processed.
Yeah.
A lot of preservatives. It's not that good in my opinion. I know Krispy Kremes is obviously they're popular, they're famous, they're successful, so people love them. Not me, but people. But no, it was an interesting donut. I enjoyed what they put together, but again the whipped cream was processed. The jelly was meh. They put some strawberry jelly on top, and the dough. It just didn't taste fresh to me.
Yeah. So what would you give it then? 1 out of 10.
So that's the hard part because I remember like eating the original glazed donuts, and they were a lot better.
Yeah. No, I think that's their best one.
Very soft and very like.
There's one in there if you want it.
I was looking at it.
You should take a bite. Maybe it'll change your opinion.
Okay, let me do that, and then you can go first.
Okay, so I mean, I really like that it's super sweet, but it definitely has the processed part of it. You can tell it's not made with love. So there's I do like that it's sweet. I like the sugar because I have a sweet tooth. I don't like that it's processed. The texture I like it's kind of like a very it's not like a heavy donut, and again, I had the glazed. I have glazed with chocolate on top, and then I had a like a pink sprinkled strawberry kind of thing. But they're it's kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like French crullers. It's almost like eating a cloud. I don't know. It's not heavy. So I'll just say that. So I generally enjoyed it, but it doesn't reach donuttery, doesn't reach duck donuts, doesn't reach what's the one sidecar. Those are really good, So I'm gonna say a 7. I'm gonna say a 7 because I generally like it. I like the sugar, but I don't think it's like it's nothing. It's processed as hell, and it's nothing special.
I feel like if you gave him a spoon of sugar, he would give it.
I
7.
I would, because I love sugar, man. I mean, it's really good.
So, from the first donut, I was about to give it a 4.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just based on the dough, it was all based. Like, I mean, I talk about the toppings too, but like, again, I don't know how fresh this was. Maybe you went to the wrong Krispy Kremes where somebody's being lazy and they're not throwing out the old donuts or something. We never know. I guess we just hope for the best and hopefully they were fresh. But it didn't taste fresh to me at all.
No.
The glazed was a lot better, but it also didn't taste very fresh. I
For,
don't know.
for me, the glaze is. I actually like the glaze a lot, and then everything else is kind of subpar below that. So it's almost like
Spoonful of sugar.
yeah. I mean, I like sugar, so. But I mean, I think the glaze is a lot better than the other donuts. Like the other donuts are definitely a step down, but I'd still probably give it a 7. You know.
Yeah. So no, the glaze kind of redeems it, but I miss the days where you could go to Krispy. I think they took it out of the Krispy Kremes that's near my place, but they used to make them fresh there, and you can watch it like through the glass.
Oh, really?
Like, because it's all machine made. So I mean, up to a certain point, and I'm sure people do crap, but then they put it in. It bakes it. It fries it. Whatever it does, it flops onto a like grid.
They have a little
like
conveyor belt and all that
sugar
stuff. Yeah.
gets frosted on there. And then of course you get to eat it fresh. And that was amazing. So if whenever they're fresh, it doesn't have to be piping hot usually. And from my experience, if it's fresh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So the glazed
Fresh, we're good.
fresh, I would give it like a good 7 or 8.
Yeah.
If you can have it that way. But overall, I would give this a 6.
Okay.
I would give Krispy Kremes a 6.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I think I am a little biased with donuts. I just love most donuts. There's not many I don't like. So.
Well, I mean, it's like drugs, Sugar is pretty much a drug.
Yeah.
So as long as they put enough of it, you're good.
I'm an addict. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we have a 6.5 for Krispy Kreme.
Man, look at you doing math. Way faster than last week.
And that was, that's true. So this is actually our lowest one, I think.
Yeah.
It is. So even though it's a 6.5, would you recommend it or not recommend it?
It depends. I mean, so it's a lot cheaper. It's a lot more. People like chains because it's consistent usually, right? You can get it anywhere and it's always the same. Whereas your mom and pop's donuts, it's gonna be different at each location. If you can go and have a fresh glazed or fresh, really, I'm assuming anything fresh there would be good, but the fresh glaze, and especially if you can watch it being made, I'd recommend it. It's a recommended experience. Whether or not you go back there.
Fresh is it's always gonna be good fresh. I'm kind of neutral. I'm not sure I'd recommend it or not recommend it. So I'm just gonna be neutral on it.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I recommend everybody try it.
And maybe once. Well,
if you're in an area with a limited time and there's Krispy Kremes or Sidecar, I'd go Sidecar.
Oh yeah. Well, it's kind of like we did the Starbucks donut review, and like I wouldn't recommend that one, but I'd say it's it's worth trying probably.
If we went on a field trip and we stopped by a Starbucks, you would for sure buy.
I would,
donuts.
but I'm saying I'm not sure I'd say, hey, you should go try out the Starbucks donut.
Yeah.
Like it's not that great,
Yeah.
Kind of like
you're already there at Starbucks, but don't.
Yeah. So all right. So yeah, 6.5. Anything else to add to that one?
No, I'm happy with it. My 6 and you're at 7.
Yeah. So Donut Therapy gives Krispy Kreme donuts a 6.5. Next week we're going to be doing will be our season finale technically, and we're going to be doing our martial arts episode. So we're going to go over our martial arts challenge. You get to see a little bit of footage of us doing martial arts, and we'll talk about that.
And you're putting that together, right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
So anything else to add?
No.
All right.
And then after next week's episode, we're gonna be done.
We're gonna be done with season 1. Yeah.
Even though we skipped a few episodes, I believe.
No,
we'll
have 8. We'll have 8 episodes total.
You
didn't record the first one, so that one's not. It's in the ether somewhere.
It's
right. The lost episode. So we have 7 episodes plus the lost episode.
That's all right. That was a good one too.
Yeah.
But
well.
If you were there alive, you watched it, yeah. And if not, then not.
No worries, man. All right. Well, thanks guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.